Ladies, are you okay? Like, are you actually okay? Because you could tell me if you weren't okay, and I'd be okay with that, okay? Because ladies, don't get me wrong, I am into some dark woo-woo stuff myself. However, some of you scare me. You guys kind of scare me a little bit.
Here are the ground rules. You can punch me, kick me, pull my hair. I am A-okay being stabbed. Biting and scratching are on the table. You can use fire.
These are the ground rules? Is there anything off limits?
Damn, man. You got something really sick you want to do, huh? Oh, you little pervert. All right, I like it.
Now, obviously, at this point of the video, you know I'm talking about BookTok, and honestly, the stuff that I have found is just filthy. I mean, filthy. Now, when I go to public places like a park, I have to worry if there are any of these perverts out there reading books like A Court of Thorns and Roses. Kind of worried that I'm gonna be in the park with my son and there's a nice looking woman there. She's like, oh, it's a hot day, isn't it? Would you like some water? Next thing I know, I'm laced in the back of a van and she's removing my organs for a dark god. And I know that you're not supposed to take candy from strangers, but what can I say? I like candy. I like candy, bubblegum and taffy. Skip to the sweet shop with my sweetheart Sandy. Personally, I thought that Rihanna was being very hyperbolic when she said that chains and whips excite her. However, all of you have got me thinking very differently, and I don't know whether I should try to run.
He grabbed me by my waist, pulled me in close, and gave me a big kiss. And then we lived happily ever after. He me in my and grabbed my and whipped my.
Would anyone like to explain this? Would anyone from the female BookTok community like to step up and account for their actions? I'm gonna guess no, because only good girls account for their actions, unless you want to be a good girl. However, fellas, it's imperative, and I do mean imperative, that you listen to the next words that I'm about to say. I am much like you when it comes to women. I am confused as well. They are strange creatures that we can't quite figure out with our logical man brains. If we could just figure out how they really thought, then we could figure out how to interact with them appropriately. Fellas, it's in the books. They wrote it down. It's in the ancient scripts of the lore. Now, women are beautiful, and they know that they're beautiful because every guy tells them that every day. When you are genuinely interested in one of them, what you need to do is you need to show it. Show some genuine interest, not just a pretty object me want pick up. Find out what book they're reading, find out what other kind of books they like, and start the research. Fellas, it might not be your cup of tea, but remember, we're doing this for science.
How did she get away? I let her go. I let her go because shit got weird. Okay, I had her cornered. We were fighting. It was a normal altercation. And then my hand ended up around her throat. She looks me dead in my pupils, into my soul, and says, harder. And I'm looking at her and I'm like, excuse me?
This is where he got it wrong in the audio, because he did not let her go, she let him live. He was the fly trapped in the spider's web at that moment, and he's lucky he didn't get his removed like a praying mantis. Because fellas, if you're there with your hands around her throat and she says, please restrict my airflow, father, then run. Run. That is not a woman, that is a demon. Fellas, if you think about it, this is in the book. Go read the Heirs Goetia and start studying your Lesser Keys of Solomon. You'll be fine. Gabs here says, best type of necklace. Shelby says, are we fighting or flirting right now? Him, my hand is literally around your throat. Her, that didn't exactly answer my question. Brandy said, sir, you walked in the room with full tactical gear on. If it isn't the consequences of your own actions. So fellas, we did a little bit of research in the comment section to see how women are responding, and what did we learn? One, they like being in safe danger. They like the idea of being in danger, but not actually being in danger. Number two, they like mystery. They don't necessarily know what this guy looks like. However, they're able to roleplay and fantasize about it. And if you're a guy and you're a faceless content creator and you're doing a little bit more of a risque approach, then never, ever reveal your face. If you're not Ryan Reynolds or somebody on an equivalent level, then keep that shit hidden, because look what happened to Dream. And the last thing that I learned is I need to buy some tactical equipment or a dark mask or something like that to add to the air of mystery. Let me know what I should get down in the comment section.
Here's a list of some absolute bangers I've read so far this year. Now, fair warning, the spice in some of these books will have you squirming like you're holding in a fart on a first date. I have no business wearing this much bronzer. Let's get into it. First up, we've got Fall Into You by JT Geisinger. If you've not read anything by JT Geisinger yet, I don't know what you're doing. What are you doing? Turn this off, go get something by her, read it, and then come back and tell me how good she is. The aim I'm saying this book is just dark, mysterious, moody, broody. He tells it how it is, and I really appreciate that. Story follows this young woman. So at the beginning of the book, she's just been heartbroken. She's been dumped, and she meets this dark, brooding guy at a nightclub. She's dared to go up to him, and she ends up having a one-night stand with him. He ends up getting a job at this new giant company, and who ends up being the boss man. Yeah. The hot guy that she had the one-night stand with. It's spicy, it's well written, it's good.
Now, my takeaway from the summary is that women often have the same inclinations towards the proclivities that men do, they just go about it in a different way. I would imagine there were thousands of guys trying to suit her, however, she probably didn't want any of them because she chose the guy that didn't know she existed. So fellas, my takeaway from this is focus on yourself, hone your craft, and improve yourself, because we all want flowers, but flowers are the result of the process of watering the roots. Honestly, sometimes I wish they grew upside down in the ground, this way you could see what was really important.
The following work of fiction contains erotic humiliation, degradation, fear play, pain play, knife play, consensual non-consent, orgasm denial.
What the fuck?
See, fellas, it's right there. It's written down. It is the golden manuscript that we have all been searching for this whole time. Hear me out, okay? If you're in a relationship with a woman and it's a serious relationship and she likes to read, take a picture of the books that she likes to read and go buy them. And if you work all the time, I understand how busy it can be to try to sit down and read. If you can always listen to an audiobook. If that's not your thing, then there's Cliff Notes. These women love discussing this book. It's all over online for free. And if you're thinking, hey James, what do I do? My girl doesn't like to read books. You pay attention to what she watches, because I guarantee you she watches a specific genre, and inside of that genre there's going to be romance and there's going to be adult time proclivities. So what you do is you get a summary of that, or maybe watch the clips, I don't know, watch the show yourself with her, take the notes, then apply the lesson that you learned. Apply the lesson that you learned, which honestly that's probably even better, because then you're showing her the affection and spending the time that she probably wants, which will probably translate into what you want, and then you just apply the lessons that you learn. Now, personally, I've never been with anybody that's read books. However, I'm sure the same things can still apply. Maybe you approach her, you talk to her about the book that she's reading because you understand what it is, and maybe after the embarrassment goes away, you offer to read it to her.
So how did I get chosen for this? Did you like stalk me first, or what was the situation?
So are you in the mafia? Don't worry, I won't tell anyone. Just between us. But are you? Oh, you want to put a blindfold on me? Okay.
Now, honestly, there is one contradiction that I don't understand when it comes to women. It seems to be there are two types of narratives going on: the I am strong, independent, and powerful, yet I want to be submissive. It's honestly kind of confusing, but I still understand it in a way, because, you know, me, big, strong man, leader of patriarchy, but I would still be subby-wubby to a goth mommy. And honestly, they're kind of hard to find. Honestly, if she's not trying to lure you into her cult, does she really even love you?
Books. Books, she has found, are a way to live 1,000 lives, or to find strength in a very long one.
Fellas, listen to me right now. This is going to be one of the most important things that I have ever said to you. If she has a book collection like this and she is still interested in you, you go out, you sell your car, you buy a ring and put it on her finger, live the rest of your life as a happy man. Congratulations, you just won the lottery. Because if she has a collection like this, she has lived 1,000 lives and loved 1,000 people, and she chose you? She chose you? You better worship her.
Did you finish?
I just finished. I don't know what to feel right now. I want another.
Okay, ladies, now I'm talking to you, because this is the greenest of green flags. He wants more of what you're interested in. He went out and sold the car, bought you a ring. Now it is your turn to return the favor. I know you know what I'm talking about, but I'm not going to say it because I respect you.
Do you understand the emotions that I go through now?
Yes! Why can't it be longer? It skipped. The ending skips so much. Like, I want it to be longer. I want to know, like, every little detail.
Welcome to my book club. It's just us.
It's just us.
And honestly, I think we all know what happened at this point after the camera went off. Now, when it comes down to fantasy romance, I personally think it's pretty cool. I highly recommend The Chalice and the Blade by Glenna McReynolds. I've read this book multiple times. However, when it comes to the other side of BookTok, the dark romance side, it kind of scares me, but I think being scared is part of the excitement, right? Because some of the things that these ladies say that they want is kind of, yeah, I mean, okay, but you better sign a fucking waiver first. Because in my opinion, I'll take responsibility for the damage I'm about to do. However, I will not take liability for it. That's on you.
I don't even know your last name or your birthday.
My birthday is September 7th.
Doesn't surprise me that you're a Virgo. Next.
Meadows, baby. Our last name is Meadows.
Yours. Don't get ahead of yourself. You'll be expected to beg.
I love to beg.
I mean, it's kind of scary. At the same time, something tells me I should read Haunting Adeline. I don't know. And honestly, it's probably pretty light because there are books out there that come with trigger warnings and warnings about your mental health being important. When the book's trigger warning list is 2 pages long and it ends with your mental health matters. And fellas, if you're still here and you're thinking, wow, these are some really red flags, you should probably stay away. You should probably know that I'm colorblind and I walk into traps willingly. And speaking about walking into traps willingly,
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you,
We don't care.
it's just amazing that there are so many women out there that would willingly want to get kidnapped. Now, honestly, my final opinion on BookTok is that I don't think it's a bad place. I actually think it's a very good place to understand what the women in your life might be wanting or needing in their own personal romantic relationship. And just remember, when it comes to broaching these topics or living out these fantasies, consent is the key that will open almost any door. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go out and buy some shiny objects or varying colored gemstones and lay them behind me like breadcrumbs and hope that I can attract me one of those goth dommy mommies that I was looking for. Welcome to the petting zoo.